For a player who has advanced to the NBA Finals every time he made it to the playoffs, Miami Heat's forward Kevin Love is unquestionably a top talent in his own right. Unfortunately, injury got in the way of making an argument that he is one of the very best. Nevertheless, join me as I get to discuss how the power forward compares to other NBA players. The next wonder kid. Already 34 and at the latter stage of his career as a basketball player, Kevin Love sure had a roller coaster of a career. However, with his performance in Game 2 of the NBA Finals against the Denver Nuggets, one can't deny he still has something to offer. With K-Love on the court, the Miami Heat outscored the Nuggets by 18 points. Even Heat's coach Eric Spoelstra blamed himself for not starting Kevin Love in Game 1's loss against the Denver Nuggets. In any case, 15 years in the league, and Love has been both a beneficiary and victim of subjective assessment. However, it wasn't always like that for the five-time All-Star. Love played high school basketball for the Lake Oswego Lakers, and in his rookie season, he led them to a 19-9 record for his team, averaging 13.4 points, 2.9 assists, 1.3 steals, and 3.3 blocks per game. Love was the only freshman chosen as the Les Schwab Invitational's most valuable player in 2004. In his sophomore year, he led the Lakers to a 21-8 record and the 2005 state championship game, averaging 25.3 points, 15.4 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game. He led his high school team back to the state championship finals in his junior year, averaging 28 points, 16.1 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. Love had 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks in that final. In the 2005-06 high school basketball season, he was the only player to be voted the USA Today Player of the Week twice. Nevertheless, his stats improved in his senior year as he averaged 33.9 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. He guided his high school team to the state championship game for the third consecutive season, but they lost despite Love scoring 37 points. Love, a 5-star recruit going to college, finished his high school career as the all-time best scorer in Oregon boys basketball history with 2,628 points. Kevin Love's college career. Coming out of high school, Kevin Love was America's #1 player, and he soon committed to play college basketball at UCLA. During his first season, he started 38 of the 39 games, had 23 double-doubles, and scored double figures in all of them. He had an average of 10.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 17.5 points on 55.9% shooting in his debut season. He led the Bruins in scoring, rebounds, and shots blocked, and was 5th on the team with 27 total steals in his freshman year. Love led UCLA to a #1 seed in the 2008 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament, the regular season Pac-10 Conference Championship, and the Conference Tournament Championship. He scored at least 20 points in 11 games and at least 10 rebounds in 23 games as he led the Bruins to the NCAA Tournament Final Four. Love finished his freshman year as a consensus first-team All-American, Pac-10 Conference Player of the Year, and Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. Kevin Love's NBA career. K-Love was a one-and-done player and was one of the most highly regarded talents in the country when he graduated from college. So it was not surprising when the Memphis Grizzlies selected him 5th overall in the 2008 NBA Draft. However, following the draft, he was traded to the Timberwolves. Regardless, Love ended his rookie season as the league's 9th best rebounder, first among rookies, and ranked 3rd in total offensive rebounds. Love also led all rookies with 29 double-doubles, the most by a Timberwolves rookie in franchise history. He was also ranked 1st in the league in offensive rebound percentage, becoming the first rookie to lead the league since Hakeem Olajuwon in 1984-85. Unfortunately, his time with the Wolves was a struggle as he was primarily plagued by injuries. However, there's no denying that a healthy Love was a dominant one in the league. When Love scored 31 points and a career-high 31 rebounds in his 3rd season in the NBA, setting a Timberwolves franchise record, while also becoming the 19th player to record a 30-30 game. Love's 53-game stretch of double-doubles during that same season is the longest since the ABA-NBA merger in 1976. In his final season with the Timberwolves in 2013-14, Love set an NBA record by becoming the first player to ever record 2,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 100 three-pointers in a single season. Unfortunately, despite his impressive performance for the Wolves, Love never made it to the playoffs with the Western Conference team. However, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he experienced the playoffs for the first time in 2015. A year later, the Cavs were back in the finals against the Golden State Warriors, and despite Love's struggles in the finals, the Cavaliers overcame a 3-1 deficit to end Cleveland's 52-year major sports championship drought. He reached the finals once again in 2017 and 2018, but lost to the Golden State Warriors in both finals. Sadly, Love has been hampered by injury since 2018, turning into a shell of the player he once was. And in the 2021-2022 season, Love played as a reserve for the first time in his career since his rookie season. Interestingly, he still managed to finish runner-up for the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award, proving that he is still far from done. But was Kevin Love ever a top athlete? Or is he simply a good player? Good or elite? Is he the best outlet passer ever? In Game 2 of the 2023 NBA Finals, former NBA player and analyst Mark Jackson called Love the best outlet passer ever, claiming he has surpassed Wes Unseld, who made a living grabbing rebounds and immediately dishing outlet passes. Sincerely, Love is without a doubt among the best outlet passers of all time. After all, who can forget his inbound pass to put up LeBron James against the Washington Wizards with just over 3 seconds remaining? And he didn't simply start making these passes when he played in the NBA. Love's college coach said that his long passes were something like he hadn't seen around here before, as he and Russell Westbrook formed a remarkable duo at UCLA with his outlet passes to the guard off defensive rebounds. However, outlet passes are not his only attributes and definitely not the only way to gauge how good he is as a basketball player. Before his sad injury, losing his explosive athleticism and eventual trade to the Miami Heat, Kevin Love was among the league's top power forwards. He was always a double-double threat, and with his passes, many a night he was flirting with a triple-double. And although his defense was subpar, he made up for it with his rebounds. Take, for example, against the Denver Nuggets, where Love finished with 6 points on 22.2% shooting and 10 rebounds in 22 minutes. But taking a closer look at Love on Nikola Jokic, you will notice that he wasn't just good, but effective. Jokic had a game-high 41 points and 11 rebounds, but he only had 4 assists and 5 turnovers due to the difficulty of getting past Love, in addition to the fact that Love pushes Jokic further away from the rim. The Heat were able to open up the floor and locate cutting lanes thanks to Love's presence. Love's passing range and spacing allowed Bam Adebayo to play more like a defensive free safety and score 21 points. And that has been the narrative for the latter part of his career. He has been effective. Unfortunately, that hasn't always been the only thing he was known for. Nevertheless, one can't argue that before the injury, he was one of the best in the league, and even after the injury, he is proving that he is still capable of competing with the NBA's top big men and power forwards. So, how does Kevin Love compare against these other NBA players? Comparison to other NBA players. It is clear that Kevin Love is not the same player he once was. At a time in the NBA, Love and Dwight Howard were the only players since Shaquille O'Neal in the 2000-2001 season to register at least 30 points and 15 rebounds 10 or more times in a single season. Nonetheless, while passing-inclined bigs are hard to find and passing-inclined bigs who also space the floor are practically non-existent, Kevin Love is a rare exception, even with his spare game time. However, comparing him to players in this generation, he falls short, yet his talent is undeniable. Currently, in the NBA, notable big players who also play power forward include Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Zion Williamson, and two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. And obviously, Kevin Love isn't putting up the stats they are raking up. AD finished the 2022-2023 season averaging 25.9 points on 56.3% shooting and 12.5 rebounds per game. Cat, who only played 29 games, recorded 20.8 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.8 assists per game. Zion, on the other hand, averaged 26 points on 60.8% shooting, 7 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game. While Giannis averaged 31.1 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game. Compare that to Kevin Love, who averaged 8.2 points on 38.9% shooting, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game, then Love is no match for these power forwards. However, there is no denying that even though what Kevin Love has to offer is not reflected in his individual numbers, in terms of the perception of his career, Kevin Love might actually be underrated and, at 34 years old, is still better than many other power forwards and NBA players. Do you think K-Love still has much to offer in the NBA? How does he stack up to the top NBA players? Let me know in the comment section.